Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 11th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. We're actually going to start with the Olympics because hockey started today. And there's already one game completed today. That was Slovakia and Finland. Sweden and Italy are playing right now. That game is tied up at 2 in the second period, but Sweden already has 40 shots on goal. So I'm pretty sure Sweden's going to take that. But we saw a crazy upset. The first game of hockey, the first hockey match in the Olympics between Slovakia and Finland ended with an upset of one of the better teams in the tournament. Slovakia won this game 4-1 over Finland in the preliminary round of Group B. Finland had 40 shots in this game. Slovakia had only 25, yet they capitalized on 4 of those 25 and took the first dub of the Olympics. The goalie for Slovakia, Skorvanek, had 39 saves in this game. That is crazy. And Finland, who are one of the better teams, one of the better countries in this tournament, go down on the first. Well, obviously they're still in it, but they lose in the first game that they play. That's pretty interesting. It is pretty interesting for that to happen because they were one of the teams that I thought was going to make the semifinals, but they lost in the first round. I still think they will make it, but it's going to be a lot tougher for them to do so, having lost this first one. Sweden is also one of the better teams in the Olympics, and like I said, they currently are tied up at 2 over Italy. We'll see how that one ends out, but USA, I believe, plays tomorrow. I could be wrong about that, so I'll have to double check. But that's just a little hockey update as we are on the Olympic break. So we're going to be focusing on the Olympics when it comes to hockey. Now, for the rest of the episode, um, I feel like we're done with the Super Bowl, right? I mean, it's been since Wednesday. We're going to do the 49ers season retrospective like I did for the Giants. That will come out soon. I haven't even started working on that, so I probably should. But um, I feel like we're done with talking about the Super Bowl. I mean, we all saw what happened. Crazy game. The Seahawks defense dominated. One of the best defensive performances ever. I think everything that needed to be said was said. All the big storylines about how Drake May looked inexperienced, and Sam Darnold really played well, and the Seahawks defense put on a masterclass, and the Patriots defense also played well. Everything that was needed to be said, I think was said. We'll probably talk about the Super Bowl again if we have somebody on shortly. But I mean, in my mind, football unfortunately is over. But we got baseball, boys. We got baseball. I believe today was the day that everybody else reported to spring training. I do want to double check that because I don't know if like cause I know pitchers and catchers reported yesterday, but I've been seeing like Giants post that like Willie is there and Rafi is there and Luis Arias was there yesterday. Um, so I don't know if it actually started or if our guys are just there. Um, I think it has started. I think everyone is there. The games don't start for another week or so. I believe a little bit more than a week, but spring training is basically here, and it's baseball season. It's quite funny actually because I was walking outside yesterday to go on my run, and I smelled flowers, and were starting to bloom outside of my house. And I don't know what it is, but you know how like certain like tastes or smells or like touch feel, like certain senses have the ability, especially with smell, to activate certain memories or like feels or whatnot. So I was walking outside and I smelled these flowers, and the first thought that popped into my head was baseball. I don't know why I associate that smell with baseball. Maybe it's because I used to play wiffle ball in the front yard every single day when baseball season was going on when I was a kid. But when I walked outside yesterday, I was like, wow, it's baseball. I didn't even know that it was pitchers and catchers were reporting yesterday, but I just a sign, I guess. I mean, I'm super excited for this baseball season, and I'm really also excited for the Giants season in particular, and that is what we're going to focus the rest of the episode on: the San Francisco Giants, their offseason, how their season is going to look. We're not going to go into a complete super dive of it because you could definitely talk about a lot of things, especially with baseball, but just kind of a summary and then some takes on how the offseason went. I'm going to move my camera down a little bit, actually. This is better. So I have to keep going like this. Let's pull this string down. Yeah, so let's talk about the Giants offseason. It was it was a slow offseason for the Giants. It took a while to do stuff, and we honestly didn't really do that much. There were definite needs that had to be addressed, and I think we did a good job doing managing those needs while saving a ton of money compared to other teams' spending sprees. And we'll get into, is it enough to beat the Dodgers? It's not. But let's just start with some of the signings they made. I mean, they made like a lot of small bullpen signings that have the potential to pay dividends. Jason Foley, I believe. Let's pull up all the moves because I do want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Um, it pulls off the. I hate how it pulls up the New York Giants every time you look up Giants or anything. Um, that's not it. That's not what I want to see. It is way too much. Okay. So the first move we really made was trading for Joey Weimer. Now that we signed Bader, I don't know if he's gonna play or not. It's good to have depth, of course, but um, I don't know. We'll see. Um, we also claimed Justin Dean off waivers from the Dodgers. He's another outfielder that could work. Could work for us. Who knows? So that was November, and then December so the first like real signing, Sam Hentges. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's a bullpen guy. I believe he was a Ranger. I don't with these small moves, it's not you can't really say like I love it or I hate it. You can be like, yeah, this has the potential to work out. Not that much money, and he's a lefty bullpen arm, and those are you can you always need lefty bullpen arms. They're pretty valuable. Um, so that's good. On the 5th of December, I don't even know if we talked about this. Marco Luciano was claimed off of waivers by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Luciano, oh man, he was our number one ranked prospect for a very long time. Shortstop prospect. He was supposed to be Crawford's successor. He was supposed to be a superstar, and he barely played for us. There were fielding problems. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I don't know if it's on him or if it's on our development. Because if you really think about it, in the past like number of years, ever since like basically ever since all of our young guys matured into the core that won all those World Series, what have we done since then in terms of development? It's pretty much just been Logan Webb, and that's it. Obviously there are some good guys, but on our current roster, a lot of our talent are free agents and then other prospects. I mean, you think of the best young players we have, Eldridge, that is so good job for us. Drew Gilbert, developed by the Mets and the Astros. Um, I mean, we really don't have that much offensive prospect from the past couple of years. Fitzgerald, Schmidt, um, Matos, Ramos. Ramos looks pretty good. So does Schmidt. And there's definitely flashes, but they're not like top tier guys. That's the problem. We don't really have top tier guys. Luciano was supposed to be a top tier guy, and he did not turn out to be that way. Kind of like Joey Bart. They're both on the Pirates now, so I don't know. It's not good. Yeah, it's a rough situation there. Definitely wish he could have been something. I had high hopes for Luciano. Hopefully Eldridge turns out better. A small underrated move that could pay off for us. Daniel Susac, who is the brother of Andrew Susac, who was on the 2014 Giants and won the World Series. We traded for him. He's a number one or not number one overall, first round pick, first round draft choice by the A's a couple of years ago. That's cool that we get him. We can maybe develop him into something good. The Giants also signed free agent right-handed pitcher Jason Foley. He is a reliever, and I like that. I mean, he got hurt last year, but he was on the Tigers, and playoff experience. Oh, we actually designated Joey Weaver for assignment. I didn't even see that, so he's not on the team anymore. Oh well. Jason Foley though, I kind of like that. I mean, obviously you need bullpen guys, and our bullpen is very thin due to injury, with Randy Rodriguez being out and um, Eric Miller being, coming off of injury. The bullpen definitely could use some work, and we addressed that in small parts that have potential to be good. One thing I'm very excited about is Gregory Santos. We signed him. Gregory Santos was a young relief pitcher. He throws gas. He came up at the same time as Camilo. And Gregory Santos, I remember his first game very distinctly. He almost threw an immaculate inning. He struck out two and got a ground out to third. That was in 2021. And then he did not pitch well after that game. And then he got, traded. I can't remember. I think it was Chicago. We traded him away. And I was disappointed about that because I really like Gregory Santos. I mean, we know what Camilo became, but I think Gregory Santos, I always wanted him to come back, and we got him back. I really think he could be a good player. I mean, he was with the Mariners last year, pitched some high leverage innings for them. His slider is very good. He throws absolute heat. I'm excited that Gregory Santos is back with the Giants because I always thought he could be a good player. Now he is back, so that's pretty cool. On that same day, um, we signed Adrian Hauser, the first of our two starting pitching free agent signings. Adrian Hauser, he's kind of a ground ball guy, goes well with Logan Webb. He was on the White Sox and then got traded to the Rays last season. He had his best one of his best years last year, and there's definitely upside there. With most of these contracts, it's kind of like low risk upside moves that have potential to play off, and hopefully one or two of these does, because Adrian Hauser could be good, especially playing for the Giants. We love ground ball pitchers. The other one that we other starting pitcher with upside that we signed was Tyler Molly. I remember him as well because last year he pitched against us in one of the games that I went to, and I was looking him up beforehand. He was having a spectacular year before he got hurt, and he got hurt quite early on in the year. Oh, look at this. Justin Dean isn't even on the team anymore. I did not even see. So just disregard all those. Um, yeah, so I like Hauser and Molly being signed. Like I said, they're cheap-ish contracts, just 10 million for each, that have potential to be solid rotational pieces. And if not, it's only a couple $1 million, and you have young guys that could eventually take their place. But for this year, I like those deals that have potential to be like a DeSclafani type guy, Alex Wood type guy, kind of underrated guy who could be a solid back end rotational piece. I don't hate the deals, and there's potential for me to love this deal if it works out for us. Those two deals are very interesting ones, and hopefully they pay off for us. On the 15th of January, this was a big deal, and not for this year, but for the future. For the second year in a row, the Giants signed the number one international free agent, signing 16-year-old Venezuelan Luis Hernandez. I have high hopes for him. I mean, the number one international free agent, and we've seen some crazy good international free agents being signed that young. Rafi Devers was signed at 16 by the Red Sox. I believe the one from last year was Josuar Gonzalez, who's also a shortstop. I can't remember where he's from. He's from Latin America, though. Most of the international free agents are from Latin America, from South America. But I have high hopes for him, and there's even talks that he could be ends at spring training as a 16-year-old. He could just bypass the winter ball and the very low divisions and just skip straight to single A and play for the San Jose Giants alongside Josué Gonzalez. And if that were to happen, that would be awesome. I mean, this guy has all the tools. He hit like 350 as a 16-year-old in Venezuela's highest professional baseball league. He has, I'm pretty sure he's a five-tool guy. I'm sure he has enough power to, hit some homers, but he's good glove, good bat to ball skills, speed. I'm really happy with this signing. Signing the number one international free agent prospect 2 years in a row. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. The next move that we made, I'm scrolling through this summary of every single offseason move we made. We traded Kaiwei Tang. We talked about that before. Maybe we got somebody back. And then we made our two biggest moves very recently. The first one, Harrison Bader, signing Bader to a 2-year deal. I really like this move. I really do, because not only are you getting a massive upgrade in defense and center field, Jung Hoo Lee will move to right, which is honestly better suited for his strengths, which are, he has a cannon and not the best range. He'll fit perfectly in right field. But Bader has a very good glove. He's very fast. Another solid arm. He's going to be our center fielder. I really like that. He had one of his best offensive years of his career last year with the Twins and the Phillies being traded midway through the season. Um, I wore last year, and not only that, are you getting a massive defensive upgrade with a good bat for the bottom part of the lineup, but he is a leader. He's a clubhouse energy guy. And us Giants fans, we know how valuable a clubhouse energy guy can be. I mean, look at Hunter Pence, right? I mean, look at Drew Gilbert from just last season when he got called up. Instant energy, instant morale boost to the lineup. And now we have Gilbert still, and we add Harrison Bader, who is a veteran with that energy. That's cool. I like this signing a lot for those reasons. And then the most recent one is there it is. The Giants also signed Luis Arias to a 1-year deal, and I also like this deal a lot, okay? Because Luis Arias is a very unique hitter. We've talked about it on the show. He is just basically, he hates striking out, and he will do anything in his power to prevent himself from striking out. He is a contact machine. There is still power, very minimal power. You can expect maybe 3 to 5 homers this year from Arias, but he is such a good bat to ball hitter, a extremely skilled contact guy, and that's a very valuable thing to have. We don't really have a guy like that. I mean, Jung Hoo Lee at his best can be like that, but there have been inconsistencies there. You expect him to take a step up this year, but we got a lefty contact guy that can take pressure off Jung Hoo Lee in that kind of role. Luis Arias, who will be leading off most likely. The interesting part of this deal is he will be playing second base. He played second base in the earlier parts of his career, but the previous years he went to the Padres, and the Padres situation, if you don't know, is they have like 5 shortstops that, they have so many middle infielders that they kind of space them out. And Luis Arias, who is the least athletic of those middle infielders the Padres had, got transitioned over to first base. He signed with the Giants, and the expectation is for him to go back to second base instead of playing at first. And there is definitely a risk there. And he's not the best fielder, but I am hopeful for it because defense is something that can be improved. And not only that, but we have Ron Washington on our coaching staff now. Ron Washington, if you don't know who Ron Washington is, you should familiarize yourself with him, because Ron Washington is a awesome, awesome guy. I mean, he has coached teams to the World Series. We beat him. with the when he was on the Rangers, but he's a infield coach. He's very good at. He's going to be our infield coach. He's very good, very good coach, very skilled coach for and he's got tons of experience. I love having Ron Washington, and I think he can help Luis Arias become another good fielder. He doesn't have to be crazy good, just good enough. And he will need to be good because we're the Giants, man. We have Logan Webb and now we have Adrian Hauser. You're going to expect, and Landon Roop, you're going to expect some ground balls. But I think it's definitely a risk, but there is potential. Now, the big move this offseason that not even player related, is a new manager. And Tony Vitello is the new manager of the San Francisco Giants. And if you saying Arias, putting him at second is a risk, this is even riskier. You're taking a guy who's never coached at the big league level, excuse me, very successful college coach, but still never coached at the big league level, let alone the minor leagues. And you're asking him to be in charge of a Major League Baseball team with playoff expectations. And there's definitely a risk. There are definitely skeptical people. There are definitely some doubters out there. But I happen to love the hire because baseball, it's kind of a sport where the manager and the coach isn't necessarily as involved with, like, baseball is a funny sport is what I'm trying to say. And what the characteristics you want out of your leader are not necessarily the same as other types of sports where you want your manager to be a guy who can lead, who has good energy, who can deal with the you know egos and stuff. I mean, if you go into a major league locker room, those are some of the most alpha males you'll ever see. And you got to be the guy who's in charge of all that, making sure nobody butts heads and making sure everyone's working together. And just the vibes this guy gives off. I mean, and he looks like, and he has been acting like a just a baller, man. I think this guy's what Kapler wanted to be. He's just naturally gives off just like he just seems like such a cool dude. I'm not even gonna lie. Tony Vitello seems like such a cool guy. I want to be friends with him. He seems like the type of guy who can rally a clubhouse around a common goal. And there might be problems, sure, especially managing a bullpen that doesn't have all of their star players there. But I believe in Tony V. I believe in Tony V. And I believe in Buster as well. I don't think Buster would ever make a move that hurts this team. So far, he hasn't, if we're being honest. But I mean, I trust in Buster. I trust in Tony Vitello. I trust in this team. And I expect us to play good ball this year. And those are the expectations that are shared by multiple people, especially Giants fans. I am very excited. I'm very optimistic about this year. And I really, really hope we can do great things this year. I think the playoffs aren't out of, you know, playoffs are not out of reach. There's definitely a chance for us to make the playoffs, and we could go on a run if we get there. Who knows? I love how this team looks, especially on the offense. I can't wait for this year to get started, and I'm just so excited, man. I love baseball. I love that baseball is back. So, man, I'm getting myself hyped right now. I want to go outside and play baseball. But yeah, I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I can't wait for this year to get started, and go Giants. So we're gonna leave it there. We are going to wrap it up. The Warriors play tonight, though. They play against the Spurs at 7. Number one fan of the show, Grant, will be there. He said Wemby's going to drop 50. There's definitely a chance for him to do that. Steph is not going to be playing. I do not expect this game to go well for the Warriors, especially considering the Spurs just mauled the Lakers yesterday. Their largest lead was 41 points. They won the game by 28 of them. And the Lakers are no slouch. And the Spurs mopped the floor with them. So I guess Luka and LeBron weren't playing. So there is that. But Spurs tonight. I do not see this going well for the Warriors, but who knows? Maybe something crazy will happen. That's going to do it for today's episode, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.